Quantum Conversations is brought to you by AcousticHealth.com, home of music from the universe, online healing retreats, and this program. Claim your free registration to daily shows at Acoustic Health. Quantum Conversations. AcousticHealth.com, your portal to the inner realms. Our program starts shortly. Welcome to another Quantum Conversation, brought to you by AcousticHealth.com. I'm Loren Gailey, and I invite you to sit back as we enter the quantum realm, that space of the greater part of you. It is your connection to infinite possibilities, infinite potential, and infinite mastery. Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining us. We are here in the 1212 Gateway, and I'm so excited to share with you my guest today, Nora WalksInSpirit. She is very high vibrational. In fact, if you see a photo on our website at acoustichealth.com, it's a new photo of Nora, and she looks incredible. So let's welcome Nora WalksInSpirit. Hi, Nora.
Hi, and thank you for the beautiful compliment.
Well, you're crystallizing. Tell us what's happening.
You know, I'm just feeling very, very elevated, and it's this magnetizing, crystallizing energies that keeps coming in, and yeah, it's just a higher vibration. And so I feel the younger feeling, younger. I can't even express it. It's just it's transformational, I guess would be the word.
Yes. As you embody more light, as we all embody more light, wow, that transformation occurs. All right. Well, this is a 1212 gateway. We're in that window. Can you share with us what's happening and the importance of this time?
Yeah. I just want to get just to start today. I just want to get my feet anchored, and if everybody could get their feet anchored on the floor.
Yes.
And I just, the masters come in through me. These are infinite light beings and higher grid systems. And they always sweep and purify the aura fields of all group connections of consciousness. And so they do that in the stillness. And so I'm just going to bring that wave of the collective consciousness that's here right now, and even for those who will be on the replay listening, you'll be able to tap into this higher frequency that's going to cleanse and just release any attachments in all of the aura fields right now. So I'm just going to bring them in, and then we'll see what they're going to show us, what they're bringing in for everyone right now throughout the entire 12th month. So I just want to bring that in for a second. Yeah, but how do you do you know by you know? Yeah. And the clearing, sweeping and purifying of all aura fields. and all energies surrounding all the gathering in the divine light consciousness here brings in the oneness of love, of light, and harmony, and so that we may all receive the higher knowledge and wisdom, and that will integrate into the crystals of our consciousness, bodies, chakras, meridians, cellular memories in the entire human form. So we anchor our feet as we anchor these heightened vibrations of knowledge and vibrations in the stillness. And it will quantify these quantum fields that is now bathing all aura fields, and to expand and to accelerate into these waveforms of higher intelligent bandwidths that is arriving since the solar eclipse into the 1212 gateway of 12 dimensions, of 12 bandwidths, of 12 solar chakra systems, and 12 dimensional vibrations that you will be breathing in, of these 12 bandwidths of light intelligences wrapping around your 12 solar chakras of the body, that is igniting its heightened codes in every crystal code, in every chakra. As you are aligning into the stillness, your foot chakras are grounding these higher energies. Your inner hearts, your inner minds begin transitioning in every breath you take. You are elevating your consciousness into these peaceful light frequencies. If you listen to all that is around you now, your hearts and minds will begin transitioning into the higher consciousness and you may feel these 12 elliptical rings of protection that is moving around the 12 chakra portals of the body for protection while you are transmitting higher intelligences into the aura fields throughout this entire 12th month. There are many grid systems of ancient timelines in harmonics of sacred geometries arriving in holographic crystal formations. And some of you are beginning to resonate within your own magnetizing aura fields that are lighting up of quantum fields of consciousness. And some of you are gently soaring into higher dream states longer than you realize and tapping into these crystallizing grid systems of your soul timelines of mastery. We are being introduced delicately to our own soulite consciousness that is elevating our inner hearts and minds and bodies more than we know. And your inner soul child is ready to explore the new evolution of a master energy of light consciousness that will be more prevalent throughout 2022 to 2025. These adorning years that are arriving will be expressing much of your own hidden abilities and transmissions of light virtues as we all begin stepping into the reality consciousness of coming to know more about the science of the mind and co-creations of infinite possibilities that lies ahead. Yuva had incitado these electromagnetic symphonic vibrations of light energies arrive on the 12-12 gateway, continue for 10 days to solstice, and become vibrantly spoken into the new year. And you will be feeling these transmissions of light spokes of information, of light crystallizing fields within the 12 solar chakras of the body. And those 12 solar chakra portals will be transmitting a purifying light intelligence into the aura bodies, no longer housing the lowering third dimensional vibrations of thought forms. It must be purified. It must be elevated. And as you listen to the stillness around you each day, watch, see, and feel the activities that are being displayed before you each day. You will begin to tap into these light vibrations of light tones and sequences of sacred geometries of your soul civilizations and grid systems of time. You will begin integrating the volumes of light consciousness and its information that will be shown to many as divine towers of transmitting light towers onto one another. As your integrations of your own light consciousness prevails, the new light knowledge will become your daily orchestration of listening, breathing, and operating throughout 2022. And so this 1212 gateway that is footsteps in front of you is preparing you today that there are 12 dimensional codes of sequences of your own intelligent mastery timelines that will be infused and radiating, then transmitting into the 12 solar chakras and systems of your body. Will gently be adorned of a oneness consciousness of who you truly are. And as you begin understanding that these waveforms of thought forms of light vibrations will be that what will be fueling your aura light fields, bathing the chakras within the body, beginning on the crown, third eye, hands and feet. You will begin to feel and come to know more of the information, of the transmissions that you are connecting to, of your soul light consciousness that is beginning to prepare you now for the new year of 2022. So for these next 6 weeks, you will be hearing more of these empowering light tones and vibrations of light consciousness ringing in your ears in high-pitched volumes on some eclipses and solstices and gateways, and your hearts and minds will feel the gentleness and the peacefulness that you are transmuting cellular memories and healing into a heightened vibration, and that there is protective fields of warm divine light energies inside the chakras of the body, inside the aura body. These light particles that is pouring down into the quantum aura fields that you cannot see but feel of a divine light presence is of love. It is golden love. It is the holiest of holies, masters of harmonic light frequencies that will be preparing you each day from this gateway onward to the new year. And as you breathe in the stillness now, these 12 rings of light moving around your bodies creates and builds a column of light. In any now moment you choose to call in the stillness, you will tap into that sense of knowing you are balancing, aligning, and anchoring into a light vibration. that is holding you in a state of protection and moving you into a new light consciousness within. And you will have a sense of purification or healing and letting go of some of those heavy old timelines that seem to be surfacing out of the cellular memory as you are elevating. These karmic trauma timelines have been surfacing and causing emotional fears and confusion and uneasiness on some hours of the day or night. Yet, did you know? But as you become anchored, attitude and balanced to listening to the high-pitched ringing vibrations of stillness, your mind and your heart will resonate into that essence of the vibrations of stillness, of the holiest of holies of love that will disentangle your thought forms and your emotions, your anxiety, your fears, your uneasiness inside the body, inside the inner child, will be set free. And you will accept and feel a beautiful, peaceful vibration of light. So it is about listening and staying connected to the stillness each day now. Not just to prepare for the 12/12 gateway, but to prepare for the new year. Will you listen and connect to the stillness to begin to be empowered, aligned and balanced into your own light consciousness of your soul light divinity that enlightens you, heals your inner child, embraces those wounds and heavy thought forms with love, and you are set free. Understanding this third dimensional consciousness within you has been elevating into the fifth dimension, and for some it is beyond the fifth dimension, it is even higher. And as you are elevating more than you know during your sleep state and dream state, and of course your meditations or journey states, you are moving into a higher state of freedom, of the density of the human form. You are becoming lighter, and you will feel much lighter inside your body. And as you stand up in the morning, placing your feet on the floor, you will feel taller, brighter, and more lighter. What a good night's sleep that was. Where did you journey to? How many timelines were cleared for you as you soared into your mastery grid systems and let go of old karmic timelines? Yet, did you hear the telepathic ringing vibrations? When you do hear it, ask, what is it that you have for me today? Show me what is blocking me or interrupting me. Heal my body. Heal my mind. Release me of any blocks and attachments that may be of the surfacing timelines or emotional blocks from this timeline that is hindering me from connecting into this higher light consciousness that I will be in with you each day. And this is all that you may do This is what will be preparing you. And this is where we will be, amplifying and welcoming this stillness each day. That is the message. That is all.
Amplify and welcome the stillness every day.
Mm-hmm.
What beautiful words from the infinite masters of light. Wow. We can feel that. At certain points there, I could feel my entire body lit up. So incredible. I truly hope everyone is feeling that. It truly is purifying. And I love some of the terms that were used in that. 12th dimensional codes of our own mastery timelines. We are masters. Can you elaborate a little bit more on our mastery timelines? And in the dream space, the sleep space, we were letting go of karmic timelines. I know there's questions that some have on, do we know when we're letting go of those karmic timelines? Do we even need to be aware of them? So that's a big question, but
Yeah.
love to hear that.
Yeah. They showered me with the insight that this 12th month, there is 12 new vibrations or harmonics of tones and ringing in the ears. And these harmonics of higher vibrations that's coming in is our own dimensions of grid systems of time. And so I have this gift of the light languages that comes through in different tones and different frequencies. And the different way and the inchite koki and you don't know these different tones and frequencies is what they're talking about is taking place on the planet. And it is these tones that you hear that's lifting and shifting you automatically or systematically. So you're not really having to work or sit down and pull out and transmute so much going forward. It feels to me that there's a higher dimension of our master timelines that's coming through, whether it was the Pleiadian, Lemurian, Arcturian, Syrian, the ones that we've heard so much about that lived on this planet, that those fields are being tapped into when we're sleeping at night. And so you're not really aware of it until you get up in the morning and you feel lighter. It is absolutely amazing that you realize, like, I let go of something. I don't feel so tight across the back of my shoulders today. So you're not working at this. It's taking place more rapidly now. It's just a matter of being in that self-realization that you are getting into a connective state of your master timelines. Not the, when I say master timelines, I'm meaning not the karmic trauma heavy outcome timelines that seem to be really oscillating on the planet in the 3D consciousness, if that answers the question.
Mm-hmm. I mean, just feel the shift within ourselves from the message that was brought forth. We're getting comments that people felt it in their bodies. I felt it in my body, from chills to at one point, like spiraling. Like I remember when I was in Peru for the for the 1111 gateway, that same sort of energy spiraling, and
Yeah.
even chills. We would think that's it's different for everyone, of course, but this is significant because we're noticing the light, we're noticing the shift.
And you're not thinking, am I getting it anymore? Or thinking, I don't know if I'm really connecting. You don't have that thinking
Mm,
of the mind process anymore because we're feeling and hearing so much now. So
mm,
this is a whole new level of elevating in consciousness a lot more rapidly, because when you can't see something but you can feel it and hear it, that's the stronger confirmation. And so the mind is not being actively trying to say, oh, it's not real, or I don't know if I'm working with this or not. And those thought forms are getting less and less, and we're moving into the higher um, vibrations. And that's the telepathic, over the intuitive that I feel is more rapid on the planet.
okay. So you mentioned the vibrations, the ringing in the ears, the tones, the new harmonics. Yeah, it seems for me personally, and I know there's others chatting in our Zoom chat. For me, the ear ringing has, it seems like it has shifted, like that tone has changed a little bit. Could that be what we're talking about as well? I mean, it seems like that has changed this year.
Okay, I'm sorry, I don't know what you mean, the vibrational tone or
The ringing in the ears, it
right.
seems like it is, someone has said in the chat that it seems like they've gotten richer or deeper. And for me, it seems like it has just changed. It's not as, it was definitely not as loud as it once was.
Okay, so what happens is it's embodying. It's kind of like that's why they say it's um, 12 harmonics of 12 symphonic frequencies. It's not like one pitched ringing, it's like a symphony that becomes embraced and embodied inside of you. So, therefore,
Mm,
your mind and your heart, your whole inner child is embodied by the tone. It's no longer outside ringing in the ears, outside in the aura field. It's embodying you. And so it becomes a more of a deeper tone, or a very beautiful, peaceful, harmonic frequency. It's because you're
ah,
breathing it in to your body. It's becoming you, and you're becoming oneness with its vibration. So the tone itself becomes a symphony of love, a symphony of peace, because you're becoming one with it inside you.
okay.
This
All
is
right.
what this means, Lauren, is means that you have shifted into that vibrational field and you've become it. You're not listening outward to it, you've become it.
Okay.
So when you embrace something and you move into that field, and that field moves into you, it is a different sound because it's your sound now. You've embraced it and embodied it. So it's richer. The volume is deeper within
Yes.
you. It's just how I can only explain it like that.
Beautiful. Okay. Well, then for anyone who's experiencing that, I know some people, it can freak some people out. Really, it can be disconcerting. When it first happened to me in Guam, I believe it was like 1997. I was just, I didn't know what was happening. I kind of got scared, had to sit down and do some yoga poses. But this is beautiful. So, this is our soul's light consciousness coming into body, becoming part of us.
Yeah, you make a valid awareness there. It always fields of peace and of warm energies of gentleness. It's never to be disturbing. It's new, so we kind of jump, like, you look at when something lands on you, if it's a fly or something, not a wasp, I guess you'd say, but you kind of jump. But that's just your mind going into awareness. But when the ringing comes in, the masters of the higher consciousness of who we are now want us to just listen, go into the quietness and listen to the vibration instead of going into the thought of, what is that? It's where's that coming from? Is there something going on behind me? Where is that coming from? No more questioning. It's a matter of sitting back in the stillness and listen to it and assess, well, is this a message for me? Is this something that I'm integrating? Who's speaking to me now? It's a change of acting to what's coming in with no fear.
That's very good. Really paying attention to what's going on, really feeling what's going on. The thought forms that come up, or the fears, to truly be in the stillness and let that go. So is there a way to release and transmute the aura field?
Yeah. There's a higher state of stillness that you would do every day. And for most of my students, I always ask them to do it after every single phone call, text message, email, group gathering like this. Right after, you need to clear, cleanse, and purify the aura. There are so many lingering strands of information, of other people's thought forms that are and surfacing timelines that we all have had together that just settle into the aura fields. And so as soon as the energy is transmitted to you in a conversation, even if you're outside walking down the street or going into a store, those energies are bombarding of a heavy lowering consciousness, and we're elevating into a very high frequency. And so it's attracted to our aura fields, it's attracted to our bodies. So it's important to go into the stillness immediately. If you finish up doing something, I put my phone down and between sessions, clear my body. I just tap into the stillness for just a moment and bring in the stillness. I always say, show me a sign you're here with me now. And everything in the house shuts off. The furnace running, everything, it goes really, really still when I say that, because the masters come in really quickly with me now. Show me a sign you're here. I need to know you're here. That's when you hear the different tone in the vibration of stillness. Make sure your feet are anchored on the floor. Now you feel the energy on top of your head, or you feel it in your heart that you know you're connected to your own higher divine source, or your own master soul being, or maybe you call I am presence, but you get a connection or a wave of energy through you. Once you know that's there in that second or two, release all attachments, release all energies, sweep, cleanse, and purify my aura fields now. And my body will usually jump, or I'll get, ooh, I do that noise because it pulls off any surfacing timelines that I've had with these people, this person, this place. Release all attachments, send it to the light to be healed, knowing I'm purified. Now you'll feel your feet get a little bit warm because you're anchoring a higher divine light into your body as they're sweeping and clearing your aura and balancing you back into your own column of light of a higher protection field again. So I just kind of did a detailed way of it, but most times it's done really quickly. As you just tap into the stillness, I feel the energies come through me, and I just say, clear my body, clear my mind, release all attachments. Send it to the light with love, and transmute any lingering threads of any of my cellular memories of karmic trauma timelines. And then I just blow out my mouth like that. So
Wow.
you kind of know when this is happening. Maybe you're, especially right now, because there's a lot of ups and downs and topsy turvy energies with everybody right now, because they're elevating into higher states, and as they are surfacing more of these timelines, you may have a situation where you step into a conversation with somebody, and all of a sudden you start feeling a little bit uneasy, and you think, oh boy, I don't know want to talk about this anymore, or I don't know if this is a good place for me to be in right now, like when you're visiting someone or something. And that's the moment that you're realizing that you've got an attachment of a timeline with that person or that event or that place. And so that's when you want to just kind of let the person continue chatting away or be in the situation you're in. But in your inner mind, you are saying, show me a sign you're here with me, release any of these frequencies and attachments that are here with me. Clear my aura, clear my body, clear my mind. And then you feel it pop off. You really do.
Very good. Thank you for that. Again, being so aware of how we're feeling. I know that being empathic, many of us are empathic.
Yeah.
How do we, well, then we really need to do this even more.
Well, I do it after every single conversation, after every text message. I just do it continually.
Oh,
And this was probably back in the summer when it had to be done a lot more. But now I'm finding that I really don't have that many attachments. I don't have that many things pulling on me throughout the day. I may have it just once or twice on the top of my head where I get this uneasy energy on top of my head, and like, oh, I didn't clear that last situation. But pretty much
okay.
you end up having almost like an aura field. After a while, you end up building an aura field that is a transmuting aura field. So there's more of the higher crystal intelligence in your aura field than the 3D human thought forms in your aura field. It reverses.
Okay, powerful.
Mm.
Really a good technique then.
Yep.
And it will become faster when we implement it, right? So when we say, okay, clear, then it's done. We're really commanding consciousness.
Yeah. You're asking the higher intelligence to come in, clear my body, clear my mind, release all attachments, and anything that is of an uneasy nature, go to the light.
Okay, very
And
helpful. Very helpful. So there's a question in our chat, and what
sure.
Nora is going to take some questions from everyone as well. So is it normal to become emotional when clearing your aura?
Yes. Yes. There's I'm not sure which emotion the gal's mentioning there. Um, Sometimes you will get emotional because your inner child is happy that you're releasing that heavy energy or that um, bombardment of the same frequency. So you may get an energy of tears, and it's the tears of crying of joy that you're clearing it. It's almost like the little child is saying, finally, you're getting all of that frequency out of me. So there's that
Mm.
emotion, but there's also an emotion of resistance. And so just how you mentioned that sometimes when you've gone somewhere, you got a little bit uneasy when you're not sure what it is. The little child inside backs up, puts the feet in the heels in the ground, and there's a bit of a resistance. So there's a push and pull kind of energy coming from your inner body, and that's a wounded timeline, a, a,
Mm.
an unworthy timeline. Perhaps there's a, a conflict or a battle um, or an injustice, any of those type of timelines, there's a resistance. And so it
Mm.
sparks a triggering frequency when you're talking about something, and it triggers that frequency. And that's when you'll have that emotion of any one of those. So right away, when there's a reactive frequency of sadness, uncertainty, that's your inner child saying, no, 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 I don't want to do this. I don't want to talk about this. I don't want to go there. But that's really the most important one to deal with, because you need to own those energies that are holding you back from the higher consciousness. So you have to just talk to that inner child. Okay, there's something here, something rattling me. I don't like this feeling. I've got to release all of this emotion, all of the unknown, unseen energies that is triggering this emotion in me of any timeline to be set free and healed with the light. Ooh! And then I just jump like that and pull out the thread. So
Mm.
there's two types of emotions that there could be experiencing there, and that's those inner hidden selves. I call them with my shamanic medicine, they're hidden selves or shadow selves from other emotional wounded timelines.
Mm. Yes, we heard from Ange, who asked that question and said, that's exactly how I felt.
Oh,
Resistance and releasing the wounded timeline.
oh, good. I'm glad I could help
Okay.
her.
So, questions, beautiful. Nora, just listening to you raises our frequency. I know I'm not the only one feeling lighter. Some have already put in our chat box that they too are feeling lighter and straighter and taller.
Oh, good, good, good.
Yes. So, Carol, hi, Carol. Carol says, how can we really activate the highest intuitions needed for these transformational times? I'm being called to move across the country, trying to distill my purpose and free myself of things. What's the best way to step into our purest service?
To activate the highest in intuitions, I guess this is desires and thought forms needed for these. Um, this would be really by moving into this stillness more often through the day, like really be in a very active state of awareness as often as you can. Every thought form that comes in, be very attentive to it, because
Mm.
you're receiving thought forms. 95% of our thought forms are coming in from outside sources. That's pure knowledge. They've proven that. So if 95% of your thought forms are coming in from outside sources, then you only have 5% of really what you own intuitively or your own inspirational self is accomplishing. So if you really want to activate your goals and your transitions, you need to start learning how to sustain the frequencies of the higher vibrations longer. And you do that by continually clearing the aura and clearing the mind, by tapping into the stillness.
We're doing this right now as you speak.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Okay. There's another part too to that question. We're going to circle back around to it in a moment. Let's talk now about how we examine if we're feeling the shift in our own mind between heavier than lighter thought forms.
How are you examining?
Yes, let's look at how we're feeling those thought forms between heavier and lighter thought forms.
I'm not quite sure I understand what you're asking. Sorry.
So when we feel the shift in our own mind,
right,
transmuting heavier or lighter thought forms,
yeah,
that really is what you said. We must be so aware of what it is we're thinking.
yes,
So, for example, let's say that we're working on a project out in the collective, and we care about something. Maybe it's an environmental issue, or we're worried about something. How would you shift that? How do we begin to feel that shift of our thought forms, moving them from a heavy to a lighter thought form?
okay, that's working with the inner being within you. So typically, again, you really want to get into the stillness. Everything resides around the stillness. It's just where all of the high masters and the higher consciousness resides. So everything that you're doing, we just tap into the stillness. Breathe it in. I'm just going to ask the masters to answer that question, because on my 3D mind, I'm not understanding. So I'm going to ask them to answer for everybody here. What is it that you have for these children today to understand the concepts of the mind, of the higher vibrations and transmissions into the lowering vibrations entering in the global consciousness or in the fields of concern? What is the knowledge that you would have for them today? We are not reversing time. We are not changing the outcomes. We are infusing light transmissions to elevate that what is occurring in all situations. Yes, we are releasing and transmuting heavy thought forms, uneasy emotions of the physical body. That what is surrounding the body in the fields of the elements and the kingdoms and the operations of that what is inside and around them. Must be in transmitting light, consciousness of light intelligences to create a magnetizing field of light into all outcomes to be of the essence of a light divinity. That is all.
Thank you.
They're basically saying that on every thought form, on every outcome, you're going into the stillness and calling in the higher light consciousness of who you are, of your own spirit guides and master teachers, to bring an outcome or a resolution of a higher intelligence for what is needed in that now moment.
Thank you. Okay, beautiful. Here's a question. How do you differentiate between your own thought form and someone else's? Do we just go into stillness and ask the masters?
Yes. So I would always ask, if all of a sudden, I'm just going to give an example here. That's a really good question, by the way. If all of a sudden I'm sitting doing something, and all of a sudden I hear something coming in, there's nobody around me. I haven't had a conversation with anyone, and there's no need for me to have a feeling or an emotion about something. Then I will go into the stillness, because maybe I'm sitting there and all of a sudden I feel uneasy. There's nothing in the room, but all of a sudden I'm feeling uneasy or uncomfortable about something. And so I just want to ask, right away, I go into the stillness and I ask, show me a sign that you're here with me now. I need to know you're here. And I feel I get a shot of energy inside me that I've connected to the higher source or the higher master energies that work with me. Is this my thought form, or is this someone else's? And so if you can't get an answer because you're asking both at the same time, I can, but if you cannot get an answer for both at the same time, then you can just place your hand on the energy where it is, on per se on your heart, whatever the thought form is that's making you feel the way you are. Is this my thought form? Is this coming from me? Yes or no? No. This is not my thought form. No. This is coming in from an outside source. Yes. I release this outside source, this feeling that is not my energy. Leave now. It is not my frequency. Leave now. That's coming in from an outside source. So it could be someone thinking about you or about to phone you, or maybe it's your family member thinking, oh boy, I don't feel well, I'm going to give Nora a call. And they have an uneasy feeling about how they feel. They're projecting that energy towards me. So it's an outside thought form. It's somebody else's. It's part of the teachings that I have on the reflections. So you just want to get clarity all the time. Clarity. Is this mine, or is this coming in from somebody else? And if you can't get clarity because you're just learning to understand these energies right now, then you can just very easily go into the stillness and ask, release this frequency. It's not mine. Send it to the light and heal my body, heal my mind. That's an easy one.
And so if it's yours,
If it is my own thought form, so I'm getting
yes.
this is, they say, yes, this is yours, then I want to put my hand on my head, if it's on my third eye, or in my mind rather, or my heart. I'm going to do the same thing. They say, this is you. This is one of yourselves. Then I'm going to just say, I'm going to just bring in the light, bring in the stillness, bring in the light into that area. I got to go into that feeling and emotion. So you really have to breathe in and feel. You've got to dig it up and get it surfacing right on top of your heart. If it's uneasiness, if it's anxiety, whatever it is, you need to get it to surface, because you're going to look at it. It's almost like you're putting the little child up on the chair and saying, "Okay, so let's see what's upsetting you. Come on, tell me what's upsetting you." So you need to let it surface right up there for you, and then you call in the masters, heal the body, heal the mind, release this frequency and all attachments from all timelines, known and unknown, seen and unseen, that are of this frequency that is causing me anxiety, fear, sadness. Okay, so I just want to say that again. Release this energy of all timelines, known and unknown, seen and unseen, that is bringing me this frequency of uneasiness. Heal it, clear it, send it to the light. It can no longer be in my body. And that's how you do it.
Thank you. Beautiful. Really being aware of our space and being the guardian of our soul light, truly.
Yeah, you want to be in, you want to step into this next quadrant of December, January, February, before the spring equinox. You really want to step into this next quarter or next quadrant of being in that awareness of building and creating a new way of thinking, clearing, and really being on top of every thought form and every feeling and every emotion, because you're transforming. And you're going to have these surfacing energies in your cellular body. They're going to keep coming in, and you can't hide them. You can't run away. You got to own it. It's the most important step of the shamanic lessons, is you need to own your frequency, good or bad, small or large. You need to own it and free it. The sooner you free it by owning it and taking hold of that frequency, then you're not going to be wrestling with it for a day. And some people wrestle with it for years or months. If you just settle down that inner child and that emotion or that frequency and let it surface, own it, heal it, and send it to the light, and then bring warm energy of love into your body, you'd be surprised at how many other emotions and wounded selves leave with it.
Okay. This is the inner work. This is the inner work that we are being responsible and taking and doing to clear and purify ourselves. So you are a beautiful teacher on this, and I encourage all of our viewers and listeners to go back and listen to this and take notes if you didn't do so yet, because Nora really has given us some very helpful and powerful tools that we can use on a daily, even an hourly basis. It really is simple, but it's not so easy. Just know that as we do it, we get stronger at it. We get better at it. So there's one thing that you said, Nora, about the sacred geometries coming into our energy waves now. Can you elaborate, please?
Yeah, it's I mean, it's probably for those that really see the frequencies, in their inner mind's eye, and those that are tapping into the quantum fields more in their own evolution right now. But I just know that there is, when you have these different ringing tones and vibrations, you also get the different languages. You also get the different dimensions. This is the communication networks that's coming in. And so when you're getting these different uh, masters coming to you, or in the way of gifts exposing or coming about with you, you're getting higher writings coming down or creations that you're building in music or artwork, this is coming in from these higher grid systems. And so for me, I see the grid systems of sacred geometry patterns. They're pyramids within pyramids within pyramids, and they have like specks inside of them, which is the diamond quotients. And so when I've asked the infinite masters, what is it that you are showing me here? These are grid systems of your timelines, child. And so, what are my timelines in grid systems here for? They are to elevate your soul, to walk in the quadrants beyond the beyond, and to assist in the ascension of the consciousness of this planet. And so, if the star nations and the star elders speak to me, and these infinite grid systems of ancient ones are calling to me, what is in the grid systems that we can't see? Are we just to know that they're here? Yes, child, they are here. They are sacred geometries in the trees, in the forest, in the waters, in the rivers. They are the light beings of light particles that are dancing in all of Gaia's elements, and most assuredly in all of the winged and four-legged kingdoms are the sacred grid systems of geometries flowing in and around them. So I realize it's not something that we would be thinking of grid systems and dimensions way off in the solar system or the universal grids. No, it's right here. It's like they say you can't see the forest for the trees. Well, you don't realize when you're walking outside that you're really walking into a grid system every day of a higher consciousness.
Wow, we can feel that. Very cool.
So you would feel a bit of sparkly energies around your arms or legs or feet right now because I've tapped into many people's grid systems wherever they're sitting in their home. You have your own crystal dimension of your own mastery consciousness. That's where you sit every day in your home or where you're sitting at your desk. So because I've tapped into that, they're all sparkling around you and just saying, I'm here, I'm here. This is just the intelligence of these light particles that you can't see that's moving around you right now as I've activated them. So I'm thinking everybody should feel it right now.
Yes, I feel it. I know many others do as well. You mentioned light language, and that was the second part of Carol's question. Does awakening light language just happen, or is there something that can assist in that remembrance or other needed types of important don't know that question, but
Either do
okay, does awakening light language just happen, or is there something that can assist in that remembrance?
You know, many people that I've talked to that have the light languages, they it's a different language than what I speak. Mine is more of an ancient, holy. I asked when mine came forward. I asked when they came through. It was kind of out of the blue for me. Um, and I asked, what is that language? Ancient Hebrew.
Mm.
And so other people speaking a language is more native. And sometimes I speak Lakota, sometimes I speak Tibetan tongue. It just comes through. For me, talking to other people, they had the light language come in different, what is that? Toltec, I think it was. Toltec, someone told me they came in. Uh, Atlantean language or Lemurian language. And so those would be their timelines. So it really depends on your spiritual journey of where you were and where you are um, in your journey today. That I believe that everybody has a specific um, gifts of what they're here for. Um, some people have the gift of the light languages. Some people have the gift of interpretation. They don't speak it, but they understand it. Some people have the gift of discernment or healing hands. So it just depends on what your soul journey is. I I've had different people that have been with me, and I've activated light languages because the masters have come in, and I've basically said in my session with them, what is it that you have for this child today? And the master will say to me, the gift of light languages or the gift of healing hands. So it's all a part of the individual's soul purpose and soul journey, I would have to say.
Okay, beautiful. Thank you. We have a teaching from Nora that we'd like to talk about now for those who are resonating with this and wishing to work with their own soul light and work with Nora's teachings. Nora, this is a master's course. Can you share more about it? It is a personal one-on-one session with you, but also mentoring into mastery.
Yes. So I do have the one-on-one sessions, which many people have had with me for activating and healing and clearing. But this mentoring into mastery is a brand new course that I just completed with a group of people, and it was actually it's 40 days or 40 nights of the masters teaching for 1 hour every day. In that whole completion of that course, there is moving you from understanding the thought forms of the mind to transmuting the aura fields, healing the body. And each week during this course, the masters just came in and worked with the group consciousness that was on. And pretty much at the end of the 8 weeks or 40 days, there is a profound level of understanding the stillness, the concept of listening, the concept of knowing that there is just so much knowledge that you can move into and receive and transmit at any time. Uh, every single one of these days, there was a teaching and an activation at the end of the week. And I found that most people found at first they would tune in and they would get so elevated that they would miss half the hour. That's just part of you integrating the higher frequencies. So the understanding when you're taking the course also is just stay with it and repeat it, 1 or 2 times, listen to the activation, and you'll get used to these infinite masters that work with me. That's the only thing that I found is people were saying to me that they're elevated. They keep elevating every time they listen to the audios over and over again. So it was really a profound experience for a lot of people.
Beautiful.
And the understanding of reflections and projections, which I talked a little bit about today, of other people's thought forms and other people's energies. That in itself, I covered for about, I think, almost a whole week. And then into the next week, I covered it again because it's a very important level of understanding to what you're going through every day right now with transitioning to what's going on the planet.
Powerful tools.
It is.
Just again being, yeah.
And
I mean, just go ahead.
you have the audio, and you have the video, and you have the activation, and you have the notes. It's all in that package.
We put a link to that package in our Zoom chat line. You've got some kudos coming in for that course. People say it's amazing the way the masters taught the class each day, just knowing what everyone needed to be taught that day. The
Yeah.
teachings were gentle and well explained. Awesome. And also, Nora is a wonderful, generous teacher. You get connected to your master energy. Wow, I just did.
And what does it say?
I was going to say, oh my goodness. So beautiful. Thank you, everyone, for sharing those comments. You can also find the link to that special offer on the webpage with this show or the description box of this podcast or video. Check it out. You'll get an immediate download for that. Beautiful. And Nora, you also hold personal sessions. I absolutely love all my time with you. You raise me up, and sometimes it's just you know exactly what to do.
Well, they do. I don't, but I just love that the masters, like, I think that's one part of the course that was really interesting is that people come to realize that it's I don't do it. It's the masters that do the work. And that's what happens when you start evolving. You get the mind out of the way and you just allow what's to be to come through you in a higher frequency. And you just have this empowering state of feeling very sure and very confident about what you're doing for the day or what's coming in for the day because you get control of your thought forms. You get control of the energies that's bombarding your body with these other attachments or lingering thought forms or reoccurring energies. And when you start having that type of general knowing and clearing, it's amazing how much you shift and become very, very strong in your own divinity. It just happens. And I think the difference to um, holding on to something for a while, or maybe I should get someone to take a peek at me. You don't have to do that anymore. You get right with it yourself and you become very, very connected on a very, very high level. It's
Mhm.
and so for me, I'm always asking, what is it you have for me today? Or where did that thought form come from? Or who said that? That's been my biggest thing for the last 6 months. Is as soon as oh, you're going to be late. Oh, who said that?
Mhm.
I'm like a little kid saying, oh, what's that? Where did that energy come from? Or like, why is that happening? I'm always asking like a little child, and then I get the answer. And so that's the different way that you come away with from taking that course or just being in a session with me.
Very strong, very strongly connected.
Yeah,
So here's a question from Anne. When one asks to show me, who are we asking? God, the soul?
it's your own spirit guide.
Mm,
So
higher self.
if you're working with your higher self, if you're working with your master spirit guide or whoever you connect with, it's just a higher source, but it's always the holiest of holies for me. No matter where it is, it's the master speaker, gatekeeper, record keeper. It's always the holiest of holies that's bringing it into you. Mhm.
Beautiful. All right. Well, we have time for a few more questions. I'm going to bring some for you here. Ursula asks, how is Mother Earth today and how may we support her? Is she fully transcended into 5D and still showing up in 3D as well, popping in and out on the timeline of 3D?
Well, I think everybody's popping in and out of the 3D um, as we're all transitioning and changing. Um, so I think I'd like to ask um, the masters that I work with, because they're the ones that's bringing in from the dimensions, the higher frequencies into her grid systems and her ley lines. She is shifting, Ursula, she is shifting into the fifth dimension, as we see from all of the floods and earthquakes and shifting of her body and those sacred portals around the planet, and asking if she's transcended into the fifth dimension is something that I certainly don't know. I would have to ask my guides if that works for her.
Yes.
Just bringing in the higher vibrations of the higher masters of infinite all knowledge and infinite all grid systems of timelines beyond the beyond. Asking for the connection now. I am here, child. I am here. There are infinite threads of infinite vibrations deep within the rock formations, tectonic plates below the ocean floors, desert sands of temple structures that do carry a higher dimension of intelligence, of crystals that have been transmitting across Gaia's elements and into, yes, many of her kingdoms, including man kingdom. So yes, this energetic vibration of a heightened electromagnetic pulse into Gaia's elements of the ocean floors, desert sands, rock formations of her mountain ranges, and heightened vibrations of the root races within the plant kingdom, and the four-legged winged creeper crawler, finned and winged, have all been a pivotal part of receiving and breathing in, shifting and transitioning into the electromagnetic pulse that this planet is receiving on all equinox, solstice, eclipses, lunar activations, and most assuredly gateways to higher reality consciousness frequencies. There are various regions on this planet that have rock formations that are beyond the fifth dimension, while there are other lowering quadrants that are held in the third dimension of heaviness. Yet the understanding from within the soul core of her crystal consciousness deep inside this planet is, yes, transitioning, transforming, and ready to move into the 12th dimension more than you know. I leave.
Thank you.
It's always more interesting when we get it from the higher realms.
Mm-hmm.
As you feel the frequency and you know the adjustments are there.
Okay, here's our next question from Barbara. I'm feeling different sounds or pitches coming in. Sometimes they are there for just a moment, other times they stay longer. Recently, I found my heart also goes into resonance with the energy, beating in a slightly different rhythm. Is it possible that those tones get integrated into the heart?
It's really, really important that that becomes integrated into the heart. And that's where we want to be breathing in deeper and deeper. So in all of my activations, when I bring in the stillness, it arrives of the higher consciousness on top of the head. And then I'll say, breathe it in. And it breathes down into the inner mind's eye. Breathe it down even deeper into the heart. Hold. Allow the heart to expand of this crystallizing, magnetizing energy. Expand that frequency and transmit it into any area of the body that you wish to have a healing. So when you hear these different sounds and tones and vibrations coming in, even for a moment while you're sitting at a stoplight, breathe it in and breathe it down into your heart. We want to have the heart synchronized to the vibration that you're hearing and the mind is accepting. When the mind and the heart are accepting and adapting to the frequency, then it becomes you. So it's really important to have the heart integrating that frequency. And it takes time for that acceptance and integration to take place, but it will, because your mind is becoming more a listening mind. The mind is starting to let go of the ego thought forms, and it's starting to listen to the higher consciousness of these sounds. And so when your mind starts getting interested into these higher waveforms and you breathe it into your heart, that's when the body starts resonating and you shift into the fifth dimension more rapidly.
All right, beautiful.
It's a good question.
Yes, awesome. Thank you, Barbara. Our next question is from Ekaterina, who says, I have a big block at the back of my neck, which would just not go. I usually feel the stream of light coming from above and pushing down on this block and not being able to move through. And then the headache and cough comes. It's been going on for the last 50 years, no exaggeration. And this is the amount of time I have been on the spiritual path. And I've tried to heal myself. I never met anybody else who has been so invested in healing themselves, yet still struggling.
That's definitely a large, long time block. It's on the back of the neck.
Yes.
And it won't come off. All right, so let me just get that off of you right now. So wherever you are, Ekaterina, I just want you to have your feet anchored, and anyone else who has tension, restrictive energy settling on across the back of the shoulders, maybe heaviness on the back of the head, I want you to all just get your feet nicely relaxed on the floor. We're just going to relax the shoulders, relax the arms, relax the wrists and hands. I'm just going to bring in an infinite master of a higher intelligence. And this one is going to come in and it's going to sweep through all of the grid systems of the timelines where there has been an interruptive field in the back of the head, back of the neck, back of the heart, and at the lower tailbone. So those three spots that I'm picking up is the back of the head, back of the neck at the oblongata, behind the heart, and the tailbone. Ooh! Okay, it just jumped off the tailbone as I said it for a lot of people. Ooh! It just pulled off the back of the heart. Hey! Just pulled something off the top of the back of the head. And yes, there is a heavy a heavy, it looks like almost like the size of a coin, maybe a dime or something. It's not that big, but it's very thin, like a coin. So I'm just going to bring in a little bit of a little digging thing to pull that off. And now I'm going to bring in the light because we've pulled it off. That was a few lingering threads we pulled off. And that's come off the back of the head, back of the neck, back of the heart, back of the tailbone. We're just going to bring in a very beautiful warm energy. This is on the outside of the body. It's not inside the body. Okay, it's on the outside. It's like I'm pulling something off of you, off the back. And now I'm just going to bring in a warm energy on top of the crown chakra and a warm light. And feel that cord of light. Filling up the back of the head, filling up the back of the neck. Golden energy is going on the front of her heart, front of the lungs. And there's warm energy going in the belly, and that's complete.
Okay, Ekaterina, you will let us know, please. We hope that was good for you.
It's just a sampling, right?
Yes, yes. Awesome. Thank you so much.
Something like that would take a full session, but I wanted to get the initial block that seems to be, it was not just the back of the neck, because when you have coughing and things like this and headache, it's affecting different chakras of the body. Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you for that, Nora. Really wonderful today. We are in gratitude for you, for the vibration that you've left us in. And we're thankful and grateful for everyone here who's done this work and who shares it with our world. This is truly when we ask, what is our mission? This is a mission. This is a mission of love. And it is a mission of the great transformation that we all signed up to take part in, moving into our heart, living from our heart, and creating new earth, new systems, new solutions. And this is where we do it from. Nora, thank you, thank you, thank you. As we close today,
It was amazing.
Maybe the Infinite Masters want to share one last moment.
Yes, I would like to just give a quick message or energy for everyone as we get that vibration moving around you, preparing for the 1212 gateway that's going to dance you into the solstice. We bring in the infinite masters of a higher vibration to bathe all hearts and minds, to connect to the corridors of your grid systems of time, and to adjust all chakras of the body, to receive and to transmit the higher knowledge, the higher wisdom, and the blessings of the hidden gifts of virtues and abilities that are about to unfold on this planet. the ratios of light particles that you cannot see. You are breathing in more gently every day. And yes, your consciousness is moving into light waves that is healing you, elevating you, and bringing you into the oneness of all Gaia's kingdoms and elements. There is so much more to be delivered in the templates of your hidden timelines of mastery, and they will be walking in spirit with you in the dream state, in the quantum fields, during your meditations and teachings, and we will be there with you. That is all. We love you. We embrace you with our spheres of light of protection, knowing that all is transmuting and infusing simultaneously now. That is all.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. No. And they're saying that the healing that took place today on the back of the head, back of the neck, and back of the heart and tailbone is elevating many, many people here today.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. What a beautiful session. And again, we invite everyone to listen again because there were tools that we can use every hour. Awesome.
And everybody could feel that energy from the masters, and that makes me happy.
Yes.
And I'm so happy to be here with you, Lauren. And geez, I can't believe this 1212 Gateway is going to be here around the corner, and we will just be jumping into the higher grid systems by then.
Happy jumping into the higher grid systems, everyone. And sweet dreams as we integrate even more.
Aww.
Thank you. All right. Again, we want to invite you, if you are called to work with Nora, she's got a personal session and she's got teachings available for you, wonderful tools to assist you on your path of light. Thank you, everyone, for being here. This is our final live Zoom show of 2021. So we'll see everyone in 2022. A beautiful time for the qualities of the divine feminine to be expressed in divine creativity. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Nora. Thank you,
so
Infinite Masters.
Thank you to everybody. Beautiful, beautiful energies today. I love you all. Thank you.
And we love you. Namaste.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to this quantum conversation. As we raise our own vibration, we raise the vibration of the planet. This show is dedicated to you and all awakening hearts as we are here to shine our bright light and amplify our love. Access all quantum conversations, special offers from our guests, and online healing retreats by visiting acoustichealth.com. I'm Loren Gailey, and from my sacred heart to yours, I honor your magnificent love and light. We leave you now with music from the universe. Music literally created by the universe as musical notes were assigned to mathematical equations. The result is this beautiful music available at acoustichealth.com. Namaste.